All right, counter punch boxing. What is going on, YouTube? Did you miss me? Look, I had to take a day off. Well, it took like a day and a half, maybe two. It was my birthday. Yeah, so thank you to everyone, sending the happy birthday wishes and all that. I greatly appreciate it. So I'm back on, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Dun, dun. Happy birthday, dear Counterpunch. Or no. Happy birthday, dear. I'm not going to tell you my name. Happy birthday to me. All right. What's up, YouTube? Wake up, people. We got Canelo. We got Golovkin. I told you guys I'm going to bring you a new video every day. Look, I can already read your mind. You're like, why do y'all listen to this guy? He's such an idiot. I mean, he didn't know anything. He's a fraud. He's an idiot. You should watch Ego Boxing. That dude's genius. I can already hear it. Whatever. You don't like the channel? Don't leave. I don't really care. But if you do like the channel, thank you. We're about to hit 4,000 subs in a very short period of time. Now, that does say something, but look at this. Look at Canelo. What? What is going on here? I mean, I know they're testing. Now, look, I've heard they've tested like 7 or 8 times each, but wow. Let me take that in for a minute. Let me just have a look. I mean, I've never seen Canelo in that kind of shape. Now, look, when I talk about Gennady Golovkin, I want to see him in this kind of shape, right? When I talk about he needs to be in the best shape, but now I know he's 35, but hey, still. But Canelo's looking good now. I can't really translate this, but I think he says he's going to knock out Gennady Golovkin. I know everybody has already made videos about it, right? I mean, anything that hits boxing scene or boxing scene or Twitter, they got to make a video about it. But I try to give you guys everything one shot, just one video. Here we go. I'm going to try to make them quicker, though, in the future. But look, I want to talk about the timeline. I want to break it down. How did we get here? I mean, how are we literally, 14 days away from Canelo Golovkin? I mean, I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. Oh, damn. By the way, quick shout-outs. Australia, shout out to you, my friend. Alex Barris, shout out. We were talking back and forth on Messenger. He kind of opened my eyes to a couple of things. That's why I like having those types of conversations. And he had me cracking up about Gennady Golovkin too. We were talking about that scrunched up face that Gennady makes, that mean Russian face. Pow, and they're throwing the power shot. So, and Jeff, I'm gonna butcher your name, Jeff. Caballero, Jeff, shout out Jeff, Gabriel Garcia, and now finally, I've been telling this person I'm gonna give him a shout out for I don't know, like a week. Hang on, I got a freaking dog hair in my mouth. What the hell? Okay, Susan Michelle Hunt. Shout out to Susan Michelle Hunt. I believe that is her name. Edwin Ruiz. Now they tell me to tell Mike from New York they love him. I think I have this correct. I hope I'm not butchering the triangle there, because I think Edwin and Susan want to tell Mike hello, shout out to New York, okay? And last but not least, Eric Riley, shout out to you. But let's get into it. The timeline, right? The timeline. 2011 sparring session. Now, look, I told you guys that the sparring sessions, they're relevant, they're meaningful, and it's going to get into Canelo's head, and it did. It's the big brother, little brother, scenario. The alpha male, the dominant male. Now Canelo's the young, hungry lion. He wants to come and take his place in boxing, and blah blah blah. Right? Canelo goes back to that sparring session. He brought it up again like 2 days ago in an interview. He's like, yeah, he said, well, actually, it kind of shocked me a little bit. He's like, Gennady Golovkin is my friend. We trained together, we boxed together, this kind of thing. But let's go back there real quick, okay? And at the end, I have a couple of questions for you guys, maybe a couple of red flags. I think we'll get there. I'm jumping ahead of myself, but 2011. All right. I believe he was getting ready for the Cintron fight. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. And then he went on to fight Mosley, was it? I think Lopez and Mosley pulled Lopez up. We know the story. And then leading into 2013, the Mayweather fight. Okay, this is where I think, Canelo's mental, or not as mental, I guess is the whole psychology changed in Canelo's head, right? Right after that Mayweather fight, I think that really set him back a lot. He was embarrassed by that loss. And here's the thing, guys. It wasn't that long ago. People keep talking about, well, Canelo was green, right? Canelo was green and, young, and he was, okay? He was, but still, it wasn't, and he has improved, but it was not that long ago. It was in, September of 2013. If you do the math, I mean, it's only been, three and a half years, okay? I mean, it's not that long ago. So, but anyway, around that time of the Mayweather fight, okay, Gennady Golovkin made his American debut. Now, this is going to blow your mind. Pow, right? Going to blow your mind, because whenever I thought about it, I'm like, man, really? I mean, it seems like Golovkin's been around a lot longer, okay? But in 2012, Gennady Golovkin made his American debut against Proska on HBO. Now, look, Tom Loeffler had to literally beg HBO and Showtime. Now, look, Showtime, they're kicking themselves right now. He had to beg them to give him a shot. He's like, just give him a shot. They had the footage, back from when he fought in Kazakhstan, Germany, Denmark, Panama, the Ukraine, right? And then finally, they give him a shot to come fight HBO, New York, Proska, and we all know what happened. Devastating knockout. And then every boxer that witnessed that, they wouldn't get in the ring with him. Okay, so that's the problem. Going back to 2012. You got Canelo losing to Mayweather, and then Gennady Golovkin annihilating this dude on HBO, and that's when the ducking started. That's when everyone started to duck Gennady Golovkin. Let me get you a better picture. Yeah, I'll play a video for you in uno momento, okay? But of course, you had, and then, okay, so you got the Proska knockout, right? Then you got Gabriel Rosado all busted up and bleeding and everything. You got Curtis Stevens in there. His eyes are like big owl eyes, like, he can't breathe on the canvas. Like, what just happened? Knocked down. You got all that going on, and that's when the ducking started. I mean, Tom Loeffler was offering guys like a career-high payday, and they still would not step foot in the ring with Gennady Golovkin. Now, think about this. This will blow your mind too, right? Okay, around that time, that was when Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez. I mean, right? Doesn't seem that long ago. So I'm just showing you the pathway here, why we're here and how we got here. And you think about this, Pacquiao gets knocked out by Marquez in fight number 4, right? That's about the same time that Gennady Golovkin made the American debut on HBO in the Proska fight. Okay, just a little fun fact for you there. But anyway, back to can he or can't he knock Canelo? By the way, the undercard, Joseph Diaz and Lara on the undercard, L-A-R-A, Lara. It's either George or Jorge Lara. I think it's George. Lara. On the co-main event underneath Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez. Now, I don't really think that's a worthy fight to be on the co-main event. Maybe the one right below the co-main event, because you guys don't realize, but when you go to these fights, like the last one I went to, they had like 18 fights on the undercard. Now, they only televised 2 or 3, and then the pay-per-view is like 3 or 4, but they have a ton of fights. So they're really trying to build up Joseph Diaz. He'll be on the undercard. And so forth. So, all right, look, we got the sparring sessions. We got the debut, the Gennady Golovkin debut. Now, this is where it gets meaningful. This is where the path, they start to cross. And Abel Sanchez, he predicted this. He said, look, I knew when these two guys sparred that they will eventually fight in a, be involved in a mega fight, a super fight, whatever you want to call it. Okay, 2015, Canelo Cotto, right? This was for the WBC, right? The WBC. And keep in mind, Cotto paid Gennady Golovkin step-aside money to stay home. Okay, and everyone forgets that. Now, Golovkin correct me if I'm wrong, he became the interim champ for the WBC, meaning, you know, he was next in line. You know, basically that guarantees you a shot at the WBC. So it should have been Cotto Golovkin, but Cotto actually paid Golovkin step aside money. Now, how odd is that? I wonder if Canelo had anything to do with that, or Golden Boy Pro said, look, you know, we'll pay half, you pay half. Let's just keep this dude over there, keep him in a cage, you know, and we'll just keep taking a bunch of money from boxing, right? Keep Gennady Golovkin, you know, at bay, and we'll do what we do. I wonder, you know, I wonder if they, you know, colluded together. You know, there's a word, colluded, right? Anyway, right after the Canelo-Cotto fight, Canelo calls out Golovkin, and it's like, here it goes. 2015, it starts, right? It begins, the whole Canelo-Golovkin talk. And we think, all right, it's on. You know, we're going to get it. Finally, we're going to get it, okay? And we don't. We don't. We'll get to the vacating in just a minute. So what does Canelo do? Okay, what does he do? He talks all that mess, you know, yeah, you know, I'll put the gloves on right now. Where's he at? You know, let's lace him up. We can do it right now. What does he do? He fights a light welterweight with only 3 fights at welterweight, Amir Khan, at a catchweight to defend the 160-pound belt that he just won from an older guy that probably shouldn't be in the ring. And truthfully, when Gennady Golovkin should have been in the ring with the older guy, right? I mean, it's crazy. It sounds like days of our life, like boxing days of our lives here, right? You know, so he ends up with the WBC. Okay, he has one title defense. Now, I mean, how does this go down in history, right? Canelo has one title defense against Amir Khan, a light welterweight with only three fights at welterweight with a glass chin. I mean, how does that go down in the history books? I do not know. So, after the Khan fight, dramatic pause, what happens? He calls out Gennady Golovkin again, okay? And this was, I guess May 2016, somewhere in that time. Calls him out again, okay? We don't play. I fear no one. I'll fight him right now. Let's put the gloves on. I'll get back in the ring right now, okay? You know, you remember what he said, right? So, and then you have Oscar De La Hoya that says, yeah, you know, pretty much we guarantee a fight this fall of 2016. You know, telling the boxing fans, you know, hey, we guarantee it. Well, no. Then what does he do? He vacates the belt. Boom, bomb drops, right? He vacates the belt. Like, what? He vacates the belt. Okay, then he gets in there with Liam Smith. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Now he's a light middleweight, so now he's going to 154 to fight Liam Smith. Like, what is going on? So now Canelo goes back down, vacates WBC, and we think, you know, there's no way it's going to happen. And who's out there for Gennady Golovkin? You know, maybe he can become the undisputed middleweight champion against Billy Joe Saunders. Well, all of a sudden, Canelo, they're signing a fight with Chavez at 164.5. I mean, I can't make this stuff up, right? You know, he fights at middleweight. But by the way, that was a catchweight. We all know the Cotto-Canelo fight. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was at the Canelo 155 catchweight, okay, and then defends it against a welterweight, really a light welterweight. Then he vacates, okay. Then he gets in there with the light middleweight. Then, because he can't acclimate, he's not big enough, he can't go to middleweight. Then, next thing you know, we got Chavez at 164.5. Okay, it's just like, you know, like a little heartbeat monitor, like up and down, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Like this guy's goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Like make up your mind, dude. Like, what division are you in? Like, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't even know. He just started, like, making up his own divisions. Like, he has no idea. So yeah, Canelo, like I said, Canelo beats Cotto for the WBC. That was 11 of 2015. Defends it in January, February, March, April, May, June of 2016. Calls out Golovkin a million bazillion times. Goes, you know, moves up, moves down. Okay, now we have the Chavez fight. Okay, so at the end of that fight, I must admit I was really shocked that Gennady Golovkin was there, right? And you got to kind of think, like, how did that make Chavez feel that, you know, they had already, like, planned this, like, you know, they had it planned, right? I mean, to me, that would just, I don't know. If I was Chavez, I'd be kind of upset by that. But, you know, and I was going to talk about, I don't want to make the video too long, But I was going to talk about, the WBC and the purse bid, how they were putting pressure on Canelo, and he said that's why he vacated. But I'll just, kind of skim over it real quick, because I don't want to make it too long, and I don't buy that excuse for one single minute. I just don't buy that excuse at all. That that Canelo vacated because of the pressure, and they were going to force it to a purse bid and blah blah blah. I don't buy it for a minute. But like I said, the final chapter, right after the Chavez fight, Gennady Golovkin walks out. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. The fight is signed. So, and here we are. Now, red flags and questions. Now, remember in the beginning of the video when I blessed you with my beautiful singing voice, I told you guys I have a couple of questions and or red flags. Now, what are they? Well, here they are. Why does Canelo have a rematch clause and Gennady Golovkin doesn't? Now, could it be? Okay, could it be that they want a trilogy? That's what I'm kind of thinking. Because I cannot it doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe, they're planning on Golovkin winning the original fight. Then he gets a little older, maybe a little bit slower, right? And say a year down the road, they have a rematch, okay? And then a rubber match, a trilogy. Could be, possibly. But even without a rematch clause, I don't see Golovkin turning down a rematch. I mean, you understand what I'm telling you. Like, let's say Golovkin beats Canelo. I don't see him going, oh, no, I'm not going to give you a rematch. I mean, he doesn't even need a rematch clause. At least that's what I would think. Or it could be that Golden Boy, they fear that Gennady Golovkin will move up to 168 pounds. I mean, maybe it was that. Maybe it was just a way to keep him in that division, in the event that he loses. Could be. So that's flag number one. Flag number two. Okay, look, I don't care what you guys say. Gennady Golovkin is looking a little pudgy. I mean, look, I even have like casual fans that really don't know much about boxing that are asking me, hey, that guy Golovkin, I heard that he's like, overweight and looking, people that really don't know a lot about boxing, just people in my life that I'm not going to tell you who, but, look, you have to admit it, okay? Now, when we talk about being in prime shape, let me go back and show you what that looks like. This is what I wanted. I wanted to see Golovkin look like that right there. Okay, this is the shape I want to see Gennady, and typically that's what we get out of Gennady Golovkin. So I'm a little bit concerned about his shape right now, or the shape that he's in. Okay, and another red flag. The belts. Okay, we kind of talked about it, but I'll end it here. Okay, all I heard out of Gennady Golovkin was, give me my belts, belts. Belts are us, like he's going to get a belt tattooed on his forehead. Give me my belts, wear my belts, right? And then overnight, literally overnight, they no longer care about belts, okay? It's like, oh, what belts? Oh, we were just kidding. I mean, it's like, oh, we didn't really mean that. We just want the Canelo fight, okay? It makes no sense to me. And then for Golden Boy to basically bench Gennady Golovkin, like a third string player on an NFL team, make him sit out a Billy Joe Saunders fight to become the undisputed middleweight champion, not ever, but since Bernard Hopkins and Carlos Monzon, but to make him sit on the sideline, it's crazy to me. Red flag, just fireworks everywhere, red flag. Like, that makes no sense to me. And then you ask him, well, what about after Canelo? Are you going to go for the, for the WBO? And they're just like, yeah, we really don't know. Maybe not. There's just a lot of weird things going on right now. So, and then Golovkin talking about retirement. Now, he hasn't done it in a while. And then, he did say recently that he wants to have like at least 4 more fights. Okay, he said at least at a minimum he wants at least 4 more. So that was encouraging to hear. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. What do you think? Leave your comment below, and thank you for everything. Like I said, we're going to hit 4,000 subs tonight. I'm excited. The channel's new. That's a milestone, and it's greatly appreciated.